Good morning. Okay, last week, actually, we were in here. We went to visit one of our community in Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania community. And actually around 6 or 7 blessed families are there. They meet once in a month for their Sunday service. Usually they join one of their homes. And this is first time I'm going there, and I didn't know some of them. I never met them personally. Like two families, I didn't even know their names. And so, but it was kind of really great to be with them. Like we started our service 11 o'clock. I end up staying there up to 6:30. Kind of really nice, warm, welcoming feeling. And the way that they started that community was no one told them to do that. But when they were there in that, most of them moved to that area around 20 years back. But they had to start something for their own spiritual nourishment. So they started by themselves. And then from that small group, there's big programs like a Shehakwa family camp and everything started from there. Amazing people, and anyway, all of our members are kind of really amazing. And especially with them, I felt, even though nobody asked them to join for a service, they did that by themselves. And they are kind of far away from most of our community, kind of established churches, but still they do that once in a month. And it's not that they are very closely connected to each other. Some of them drive 2 hours to reach to the service, like almost the length I drove from here to there. I had to drive 2.5 hours to reach there. And some others from opposite side, they had to drive more than 2 hours to reach that service. And it's every time one of the family, the host family, always prepared a message, and it's a potluck lunch also. So it's kind of very, very nice atmosphere. I was very inspired by their commitment. I felt that is that's a true way of showing how much they value the presence of each other, how much they value what they learn from true parents and God. And I was happy to visit them. And also this last month, I had a chance to attend one of our national pastors meeting in Las Vegas. And that was also from our community. From our district, we have around 7 people attended. Of course, many of our young members who work in headquarters also, they live in New Jersey. That's why we had a very big New Jersey group. Otherwise, representing District 3, we had around, I think 6 people. Like I was there, Ken Shaw attended, Mrs. Sprague attended, also our pastor from Elizabeth and Philadelphia, and also Delaware pastor also attended. The most beautiful thing about that was everyone so committed towards achieving something greater and contributing something truly amazing for this country and help other people. And for me, personally, what I liked the most was one short presentation by Dr. Kim. What he was sharing with us was how much our true parents have invested in this country. Of course, not all the things were included, but I could see a certain plan. Like it wasn't something randomly put together. Many times when we do our programs, we feel like this is something suddenly put together. Even I heard these programs like a Washington Monument, and those programs were very quickly planned program. But when I see the growth of those programs from True Parents from 1965 onwards, I could see there is a plan, even though these one-by-one programs many times come as a very quickly planned things. There is an inherent theme going on. There is a goal true parents have, and based on that, true parents are working. And I was so blown away and very, very happy to see that. And also same time, I could see that how much true parents are longing towards America and people of this country, and how much he wanted to inspire, how much true parents wanted to give, and then to see that how much they can give to other people. And that was my best part of that program. Then also we had several discussions and everything. And anyway, true parents came to this country in order to remind the people that time here about God's hope about America, God's hope for America. We always talk about that. But by giving that, by reminding that, their hope is that they will be able to revive the people of America and give a hope to the people of this country and give hope to the entire world. And that was their goal. That is why they came to this country. And I had several times, I talked with them, I had discussions, not really discussions, listening to Dr. Ang and our elder member. He many times told me, though he is here, I love to listen to your father all the time. I never finish listening, even if it is kind of hours of listening. I love to hear that. And I remember he told me when he joined in our church in 1962, there was only less than 10 members in this country. And also when true parents came here in 65, that time also a handful of members only. And from that time, Father came to give hope to these people. And when we look back, what do you think? Was it successful? What do you think? Yeah, I think you're saying, I guess so. Is that what you said?
Hard to say. It's yes and no.
Yeah, that's right. Even this morning, even Mr. Burns didn't say anything. He always have an answer, but he was kind of like this. And in one way, it's hard to say. But when we see that reality, I feel it was really, really successful. The way we receive, like you all, the way I could see now, like there's hundreds of people sitting here, hundreds of families inherited that hope from true parents and ready to give that hope to other people. When I see that, I can see it was successful and it is successful. Even when I went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania last week, they are far away from many of our established churches. But why do they meet once in a month? Why did they start at the Shahako family camp? Because they believed in that promise of God. They believed that God has an expectation from each and every one of us. God is expecting something from this country, and true parents reminded us, and we buy into that hope. And it is still valid, and still within the heart of us, it is still burning. And many times, it may easy to keep alive, but I believe the true parents' mission, the true parents' trial, it was victorious. And it wasn't a victory like you buy a lottery for $2 and suddenly you get some $1 million. It wasn't like that. It was by shedding a lot of blood and tears, not only by true parents, by many of you in one way, by all of us. And when we listen to this great programs true parents have done in this country, and today in the announcements, we heard about this 40th year anniversary programs of Yankee Stadium and Washington Monument programs. And those programs, true parents organized in order to give hope to all of us. And I know many of you were there when this program happened. How many of you were there in Yankee Stadium program? Could you stand up? Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. And I know many others, probably some of you were maybe fundraising in some other parts of the country, or maybe you were in some other country praying for the success of this program. And some of our elder members, I talked to them, they were already sent as missionaries to other countries. But these programs, I strongly feel that paved a path for me to join. And that paved a path for many of us to join later because of that sacrifice you have done. Because of you believed in true parents, for us, it was much easier for us to join in later years. And I want to watch a small video together. In fact, actually, it's not a video, it's a song with the video.
We forget too soon the good that life can bring. Shadows fall too quick to bring the night. When darkness overcomes me and I have no voice to sing, one memory returns to make things right. The day we drove the rain away. Oh, the day we drove the rain away. And we sang "You Are My Sunshine" where the Yankees used to play. The day we drove the rain away. I recall the storm that darkened our blue sky, how the angry thunder ravaged all our hearts, but a faithful few kept singing and they made the tempest fly. So once again our day of hope could start. The day we drove the rain away. Oh, the day we drove the rain away. And we sang "You Are My Sunshine" where the Yankees used to play. The day we drove the rain away. When you spoke that day, I had to shed a tear. How you loved my country even though it's flawed. That message is still with me. It echoes in my ears. One nation and one family under God. The day we drove the rain away. Oh, the day we drove the rain away. used to play. The day we drove the rain away.
You are from. It is only in this nation, and no matter where you come from, you can proudly say, this is my country. That is America. In the sight of God, there is no black, there is no white, there is no yellow. 하나의 세계를 즉 완물도 나가서를 정력코 이루어야 할 것입니다. The free world must liberate the enslaved communist world. This time, our task is build one world under God. Let us unite and together build the kingdom of God right here on earth.
The day we drove the rain away. Oh, the day we drove the rain away. And we sang You Are My Sunshine where the Yankees used to play. The day we drove the rain away.
How is that? I watched that several times this last week. Anyway, I watched that other Yankee Stadium speech also so many times. Every time when I watch that, tears come to my eyes and I can't stop myself. Emotionally, I can't control. Feel like how much love our true parents had and have towards all of us. And not just limited to us, for everyone, for every human being on this earth. True parents were pouring their heart to save them, to see them living in a proper lifestyle. And that's why they were going through this kind of difficulties. And not only them, our members, early members who were really going through a lot of difficulties. Not only elder first generation members and many of our elder second generation members also had to suffer a lot because we were kind of committed so much to restore the world. And I really want to admire all of you who were pioneering a path for us, for not only for our children, even for our grandchildren, really showing a path and trying to make sure that that path true parents have shown to us will be there for eternity. And here in our true parents and true mother's own words, true mother said, last 40 years weren't years of great happiness and joy. It was years of suffering. It was really tough times. Then she proclaimed that earlier this year, while I was in Korea, she said, this coming years, from this year onwards, up to 2020, these are the years of hope. 4 years of hope where we are proclaiming that we will be able to become a mainstream organization where our lifestyle will be the lifestyle of the world. We want to make that it's not something many times our lifestyle like arranged marriages and leading a pure lifestyle and things like that seen as something kind of funny, something not really doable, or something not mainstream. We have to change that. And that's what our True Mother is proclaiming, that this coming years, that's what we are doing. It's not just for the sake of ourselves, in order to save this world. That's what we are in American church. In 2 weeks ago, when we were in our national pastors meeting, we were discussing about how we can do that. And of course, we did not find all solutions or anything, and we plan to discuss within every community and make a plan to make that happen in this country, to keep the hope and give hope to everyone. When we talk to people, you can see people are hopeless. I met a person there in Las Vegas while we were having dinner in a buffet in a casino. Somehow I met with a person and he came to me actually. Then we started talking about what is our organization. The next day he came to our International Peace Education Center, and he was sharing to me, he is 34 years old, not married yet. He said he wasn't confident enough to get married, because he could not see a prevailing culture of marriage here. He could see that people getting married, getting divorced and move to another person, then again getting married, again getting divorced. That's what he saw everywhere. But here, our true parents came to introduce this holy marriage blessing, a committed relationship. Even if there is difficulty, we are committed to each other. We will make it happen. And that kind of hope they have given to us. And that's why we are here. And even that is not an easy thing. Many times we are going through difficulties and struggles, but we are continuously trying to overcome, keep this sacred marriage, a divine marriage, and make that happen, show that to everyone in this world. And that way, we can give hope to this country, give hope to this world. And that's why this year onwards, when True Mother proclaimed about this 4 years of hope, her hope is that we will be able to make our holy marriage blessings popular in this country. Not just make popular, but to make that is the norm, that is the practice. And we have, as part of that, I had to give a proclamation in Las Vegas in front of all other pastors that how am I going to do? I said, no, I don't want to do. Let me go back to our community and discuss with our brothers and sisters, our family members, then I will do that. But anyway, then again, we again had discussions, and then we decided to do that anyway. And so I had to go onto the stage, and I had to, anyway, Carlson also was with me, standing in front of me, all of our members from District 3. And I had to proclaim that by, at least for this year, for the milestones we can do in our community, and how do we support this national initiative of God Bless America project, and how can we bring blessing to America. Anyway, then in my mind, I decided to have a certain number. And anyway, some of the things about this Yankee Stadium memorial program or Memorial Day weekend, that I felt that is doable for us, and our goal was kind of manageable. But about Washington Monument and going beyond, I felt it's so huge. How can we do that? And that's why I prepared a kind of lesser goal and went onto the stage. But when I announced that, somehow I announced that large number, and which I was kind of very scared about. And I felt like the national goal was 12,000 something. And when I kind of calculated within myself, I felt as District 3, we should have at least 2,000 to 2,100. That was in my mind. But I thought that's kind of too much for us to handle, bring people to there. So I was going to announce 1,200, but when I announced, it became 2,100. And anyway, I hope you all will take it as your goal also, not just my goal. And, and other things is kind of Yankee Stadium. I announced that we will bring 1,000 members from here to attend this Yankee Stadium Memorial in Belvedere. And I think that is kind of pretty much doable, because if all of us bring at least one more person with us, right now we have close to maybe 300 or 250, something like that. If we all bring, and even morning also I ask them to do the same, then we can surely do that goal. It is achievable. That's actually only half of our membership in District 3, bringing 1,000 members. And also, I announced that we will have 40 active tribal messiahs in our community by this May 29th. We mean like active tribal messiahs means, what I see a tribal messiah mean, a person who totally motivated to share the blessings they have received in any form with the other people. And I feel they are. That is a definition of a tribal messiah. And I kind of believe that we have already that kind of number in our community. But for the Washington Monument Rally, or the end of the year, I promised that we will have 210 active tribal messiahs. And in order to achieve that, I think we will have many more members have to be active, and beyond Sunday service attendance, or beyond just going through our sacramental life within our community. I mean, like most of us go through blessing and going to Sunday service and things, but in order to propagate our thing, we have to have something beyond that. And in many ways we can do, and it's no one to tell you exactly what you should do. It's up to each and every one of us. How do I want to contribute to the country and for the community? And that way, I believe we can do that. And here, also as a national goal, we have a great goal as part of our Vision 2020. It's about, in DC, end of this year, in September, we will have a blessing of 12,000 people. We are going to bless 12,000 Americans in this year in Washington, DC, September 18. And again, in 2017, our national goal is to bless 36,000 people in Las Vegas. And that's 36,000 Americans we want to bless in order to revive this country. And in 2018, we want to bless 100,000 Americans in Chicago. And in 2019, we want to bless 300,000 Americans in this country as part of our national blessing program. And again, in 2020, by 2020, we want to bless 1 million Americans here. And that way, we believe we can make a blessed life. Blessing and marriage is become a normal thing in America. It's not just about achieving these numbers. It's about showing Americans, showing this country that this is something possible. This is something achievable. This is something we can show to everyone and show that this kind of lifestyle is something good and it is something really possible. And when I remember reading an article in one newspaper after our celebration in the 30th anniversary of 2075 couples program and have that photo shoot in front of the post office. And I remember it came in some newspapers and in some of them were saying that Moonies are still there, kind of. And most of them were thinking that the mainstream American media thought we are no more there, we have vanished. But that's not the case. We who receive the blessing is still here. Our children are here. Our grandchildren are here. I'm not saying everyone are around, but the majority of us who receive blessing from true parents, we still believe in that, even with the face of difficulties we are going through, and making this blessed life as a lifestyle for us and for our children, for our grandchildren. That is our hope. And that's why we invest everything in our life in order to achieve that. And by believing, we can achieve that. Here we saw today that amazing Yankee Stadium program. And I remember I'm reading testimonies about that, also listening to many members who attended that program there. They were saying to me that even the previous night, they didn't know how many people are going to come. They didn't know even this program is going to happen. But we did that. We did that. It was an amazing victory for God. An amazing victory for this country to see this is possible. And where our true parents reminded everyone that you got to come back to its original lifestyle. But many times now, when we think about that, when we think about our own, when we get involved in our life, it's not easy. It's very tough. Very, very tough. Last week, I had a member coming to my office directly from his work, crying because it's so tough to continue in this kind of culture. It was so difficult for him because one of her child in his classroom got shot and he couldn't take that. And we all go through that kind of things. But when that kind of things is controlling this world, so difficult to be optimistic. But when we think about what we could achieve, just like Mr. Pfefferman shared in his song, when darkness overcome me, when the dark thoughts coming to me and it overtakes myself, think about the things we have done. Think about the things we have achieved. Sometimes I remember stories I hear from many of our BCs, that blessed children, when they have difficulties, they think about the time they were in GPA or they could broke through in certain difficulties. And we all have things like that. Here, for him, it was, Reverend Pfefferman shared that when he faced difficulties, by just thinking about that amazing program they did and how much difficulty he had to go through in order to achieve that, he can overcome a lot of things. And he can really see a promise. It is possible. And for me, when I think about these numbers, it seems so huge. But when I see what Father achieved here, what true parents achieved worldwide, I feel it is possible. And I believe true parents believed in God. When God asked them to come here to this country, they came here without even knowing the language, without even having any member, like any substantial foundation. They came here, they proclaimed that we are going to do this. And on that foundation, hundreds of thousands of people join all around the world. And still people are motivated just by watching these videos and hearing the stories about them. And just like that, if we believe in that numbers God given to us, without even focusing the number, if we share our love, it is possible to achieve that. Let me finish this sermon by sharing a passage from Bible. It's from 1 Samuel 17:37. It's David is saying this. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine. Saul said to David, go and the Lord be with you. And how many of you know about the background story of this passage? This is King David. Before he became king, while he was still a shepherd, his country or entire Israelites were attacked by Philistines. And there was especially one Philistine, Goliath. He was so huge and so powerful, no one could do anything towards him. And nobody even dared to go and fight with him. There was no one who was ready to go and fight. Many of the trained professional fighters, they were defeated. They were killed by Goliath. And King Saul doesn't have anyone who can fight for this country, fight for Israel, where this David, as a young shepherd boy, coming and promising to Saul that I am ready to go. I can do that. But King Saul could not believe that. At first, King Saul gave him a tunic, and is that right way? Tunic, that soldiers wear, that tunic or tunic? Tunic. Maybe tunic is something else. Sorry. The tunic, and gave him armors, but he could not even walk with that. That means he wasn't a strong person. He wasn't able to even carry that tunic and armors. He gave up that. Then he told them, God saved me from chasing lions and the bears trying to hunt him down because of the presence of God, because God rescued him as a shepherd boy while he go around with his sheep. Many times they were attacked by lions and bears, but God rescued him. And he believed in that God, and with that conviction, he came and said to this King Saul, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to fight with this huge, humongous person because I believe in the promise of God. I believe that God will rescue me. I don't need to worry about anything. I just need this slingshot. That's it. That is what I have. That is the only thing I need. Let me go and I am ready to fight. At the end, you could see the story. David was able to kill Goliath and able to win over him Philistines and bring Israel back to its glory and become the king of Israel. And for us, for David, it was his simple slingshot. For us, I believe our principle, our true love we have, the readiness we have, that can save this country. And that commitment, it can save us. It can make sure that our children will be able to live in a better place. Our grandchildren will be able to live in a better place. And the programs we are doing here in Belvedere, that's a starting point of 4 years of hope, where we are spreading our love, spreading our principle lifestyle. This program here on Belvedere is a launching pad for our 4 years of hope, where we all blessed families coming together and celebrating our blessed life. Actually, while we were discussing about that, somebody asked a question, should we have a rain day? Should we decide to have a rain day for that? What was the answer? Everyone said, no, that is not our style. We don't want that. Even if it is rains, even if there is snow, we are going to do that. We are committed. With that kind of commitment, God can save us, God can rescue us, and God can sell us, just as Saul told David, go and the Lord be with you. Amen. Amen. God bless you.